Vechain Price Prediction. Now, remember, this is not financial advice. This is my own opinion. I'm going to try and figure out through some research I did how much Vechain can be worth during the next bull run around 2021 and afterwards, based on the valuation of the supply chain. So first of all, I'll be looking at what Vechain is, looking at some algorithmic prediction tools, and then calculating more or less how much Vechain could be worth. I'm Kierin from CryptoBoost, and I'm happy to have you here with me today. So if you like these types of videos, don't forget to subscribe for more, and don't forget to press the bell. So let's get started. Vechain Thor. So Vechain is a dual token blockchain as a service BaaS platform originally built on the Ethereum smart contract network. So it was initially a ERC20 token. However, then they migrated to their own blockchain network. So Vechain uses a proprietary smart chip to implement NFC chips, RFID trackers, and QR codes to put enterprise Internet of Things on the blockchain. So they supply the supply chain is a very big industry with a lot of moving parts, and it's very important to be able to track everything. So everything involved in getting from tracking everything from gas to food, clothes, luxury item, even the drugs have a supply chain. Drugs, talking about pharmaceuticals. Now, Vechain Thor's core team includes CEO Sunny Lu, CFO Jay Chang, and COO Kevin Feng. And they've worked with big companies, including one of the big four, two of the big fours actually, PwC, Deloitte, Louis Vuitton China, and TCL Communications. It's got a very good team, but less shilling and talking more about what they actually do. So Vechain is a supply management tracking tool, and sorry about that. So how it works is blockchain offers a shared ledger that is validated in real time with each network participant, and it enables equal visibility of activities and reviews where an asset is or was at any point in time. And that's very important if you want to track goods through your supply chain. Now, International Business Machines, IBM, stated that blockchain introduction to supply chain management will reduce or eliminate fraud, improve inventory management, minimize courier costs, reduce delays from paperwork, identify issues faster, and increase consumer and partner trust. Now, when you look at the supply chain evaluation, it's very big, and if they can reduce many of these costs that I just mentioned, then that would be a very big portion that Vechain could take for themselves as a first mover advantage. Now, Vechain's first mission is to build a trust-free and distributed business ecosystem to enable transparent information flow, efficient collaboration, and high-speed value transferring. They will do this by adding a Vechain ID to products which will incorporate blockchain technology with radio frequency identification. So that's RFID codes which are put onto products to make sure that you know where they're coming from. And the token is used for value transfer function of the Vechain blockchain network. If one wanted to add information on the blockchain network, they have to use the Vechain tokens. So it's actually got a utility in the whole ecosystem. Now, Vechain's industry solutions are very wide. Vechain aims to enhance supply chain management in the following industries. So food safety, luxury goods, auto, retail, agriculture, cold chain logistics, and just normal logistics. Now, as you may be aware, food safety is a huge problem in China. There's been quite a large amount of scandals, including the milk powder scandal by Nestle. So it's very important for citizens to be aware of where their goods are coming from. If they want to buy milk powder and they're buying fake goods, then that's a health hazard. So it's a large market. The fake goods market is a large market, and many companies want to eliminate this by providing customers with an option to track where the goods are coming from. So food safety is a big issue. And the platform tracks and authenticates food supply chains at every step of their production process, and it allows logistics providers and distributors to store relevant and unforgettable data before it reaches its destination. So approximately $3 billion of counterfeit wine was sold in 2015 and probably more in 2017. Vechain can also help dairy companies by tracking a chain of products. If any harmful food outbreaks occur, it will help isolate the source of the outbreak. And that's coming back with the milk powder scandals in China. That was a big issue. So hopefully such solutions can help improve the quality of food supply. Now, luxury goods is also one area where it's just so many counterfeit goods. I mean, like China is very popular for counterfeit goods. However, Chinese want to be able to trust that the product that they're buying is not only Chinese, but since China is a big market, we'll just start with China. And Vechain will collaborate with luxury brands such as Louis Vuitton, and the chip records the logistics, warehousing, and transmission after the customer gets the product, so they can scan that and they see where it was produced, where it was, and it's very difficult to fake something like that. It's actually impossible to fake something like that. Here we've got a nice graph with the fakes costs in Europe's fashion industry, and it costs them billions. So in Italy, lost sales annually, Italy $5 billion, Spain 4.5 billion, and so on. So it's a massive market. So if Vechain can provide a service which eliminates nearly all of these lost revenues, then that's already a big market and a lot of growth opportunity. Now, talking about just logistics, let's skip cold chain logistics. Let's just look at logistics in one. So the Vechain platform provides customers with better services and accurate logistics information about every individual product in the logistics system. Vechain has a partnership with the world's largest freight company, Kierin, and that's very important for being able to track where the products are going. So you can also, if you want to know where your products are coming from, it's very important that you can also track how it's being transported. So since Vechain has got a partnership with one of the transporting services, one of the biggest, Kierin, that's one step of the way, and that's massive in the whole supply chain management ecosystem. Now, talking about agriculture, Vechain focuses on Chinese agriculture, which is facing a problem of scale of production, poor quality, insufficient safety measures, and that's also very important, same as the food safety. So Vechain partnered with PVC, one of the big four, China Unicorn, and Liaoning Academy of Agricultural Services to record the functional data of every greenhouse. Now, if some Chinese citizens, I'm just using Chinese citizens as an example, since the counterfeit and the food safety problems there are rampant. So they've got one reason more to actually want to support such products that offer a way to track where they're being produced and that they're respecting certain quality health guidelines. Now, talking about the auto industry, there's actually quite many. I'm not going to go through all of them. I'll link it down below if you want to read more about the partnerships and so on. There's a vast list of partnerships, and I think that's very important before I talk about price prediction, because it shows that there's a lot of growth potential for the Vechain company and of course the token, because that's something that interests you. And of course, if we're talking about now, at the moment, we're still got a lower market cap and many of the products are more in testing phase. But as soon as the services get more into a production environment, then we will see exponential growth in that area. Now, here's a very interesting list of the current Vechain partnerships that they have they're working with to improve the service, to improve the supply chain tracking methodology that they want to do. So the first one, of course, we talked about is Kuehne+Nagel, which has a revenue of 22 billion US dollars. That's massive. Then they've got DIG wine import. Of course, they also want to make sure that they can prove that their wines are legit and not faked. PricewaterhouseCoopers, PwC, one of the big four in the industry of audit and advisory. PricewaterhouseCoopers is one of the top 4 auditors in the world. The company list comprises of clients, IBM, Ford, and so on, and many of the Fortune 500 companies. PwC will implement Vechain's blockchain solutions to its big client base, enabling its clients to verify and trace where their products came from. So I think this is one of the very important partnerships that Vechain has, since PwC will be implementing these Vechain solutions to the clients. So they'll be bringing these solutions to the clients to help the clients audit better, to improve their supply chain. But since PwC is also a big consulting firm, so they want to improve and reduce costs for their clients. So that's very, very important, as PwC will bring Vechain to more and more clients the more they work, and the longer they work with these clients. And so there's a few more. It's very interesting to see how much growth is happening in the business sector, and in my opinion, it's not going to be slowing down anytime soon. Now, one thing that's very interesting, because you might have heard about the Bitcoin ban and so on, even though Bitcoin retail traders can trade with Bitcoin in China. However, one important information I want to share is that the cryptocurrency space is becoming increasingly more positive, as China's regulatory agency has allowed a few blockchain companies. And what's really interesting to know that in this list, 2 virtual currency projects. The first, Vechain VET, is a well-known crypto project focusing on blockchain-enabled supply chain management service, has been also allowed. So that's very good, since China is a very big market, and if such a service is allowed to thrive, then not much can stop them, which is very good. At the moment, the market is pretty down, and it's not looking too favorable. However, in my opinion, me personally, I'll be looking into increasing my supply. However, remember, this is not financial advice. It's just my opinion, looking at what the possible outcome is. Now, going back a bit away from fundamental analysis and looking at projects and so on, and go and look a little bit more at price prediction and what the future has in hold for Vechain if nothing dramatic happens. Now, you have to remember, there are many things that can happen. There could be some bugs in the code, fraud, or they could run away. I mean, even though the statistical probability that this is going to happen is very low, you just have to keep that in mind, that it's still a possibility that can happen. And cryptocurrency is volatile as any other asset class, so just keep that in mind when you're investing, and just don't take the advice from someone random on the internet. Now, let's get back to it. First of all, the price has been looking a bit on the sad side. With, at the moment, we've got a 420 billion sorry that was a bit too optimistic, sorry, 421 million USD market cap, and at the top we were around 930, actually 1 billion market cap on the 4th of September 2018, which is very, very nice. However, with a bit of a decline during the bear market, lost quite a bit of valuation. Now, talking about price prediction, there are a few websites that offer algorithmic price predictions. However, they are based on past pricing. And the thing is, the problem with past pricing algorithms is that since we've been mostly in a downtrend, the future pricing is not going to be very high, based on the fact that we've been on a downtrend since more or less the 4th of September. So a quick look at these algorithmic pricing models, and then afterwards looking at if Vechain manages to capture a certain percentage of the supply chain market, how much it would be worth then. So first of all, the Vechain algorithmic pricing. So the first one is a pretty pessimistic view, and you will be more or less losing money if you take this into account. In my opinion, it's based on the past downtrend. So now December 2019, you would have a minus 52% loss. So you take it how you may. In my opinion, that's based on the past the past price that we had, and so we've been such a long time in a downtrend. Now 2020, it's starting to look much more positive with a 255% increase December 2020, with the average price being around 3 cents. And now the average price is around 0.07 cents, 0.007 and 0.03 cents at the end of December 2020 would be a 256% increase. Now that sounds fun and dandy, but the beginning doesn't look very lucrative. Now the next Vechain algorithmic price prediction is a bit more on the optimistic side, and let's see, for 2020, actually it's a bit lower. It will be around 2 cents increase. So these are very it's positive, it's going up, but they are not very high, and they don't take into account the supply chain market. Now if we talk about the supply chain market, we come into numbers which are very optimistic, and I just want to remind you, they are very optimistic. So don't take them with a grain of salt and a bit of fun. So it's definitely a lot of speculation thrown around, and the thing is, the supply chain market is valued at around 50 trillion US dollars, which is a massive amount of money just to think about it. And the whole cryptocurrency market during the last bull run wasn't even at 1 trillion US dollars. It was more of 800-900 billion US dollars. Now here, Tapscott, he talks about if Vechain would be 10% of this 50 trillion US dollar supply, it would be around 100 US dollars per Vechain, which is a very optimistic number. So I thought I would set up a nice chart here on Google Sheets, and with a little bit of some formulas. Not predict, I'm just like looking at if Vechain has a certain market cap, how much the price is and how much it would increase, just to show how much potential it has. However, this is definitely speculation, and also based on the supply chain cap. Now if Vechain reaches a price point of the all-time high it had, and here I've got an all-time high of around 834 million, and that would be 100% increase from now, and then the price would be around 1.5 cents. And should the market cap be around the market cap of Ethereum, so around 26 billion US dollars, then Vechain price point will be around 48 cents, which is already a massive increase, 6,000% increase from the current price of 0.007. Now, should you invest a certain amount of money, like now the first investment would be around 1,000 US dollars, and you would get, with 1,000 US dollars at the current price, you would get around 135,000 Vechain, and that would be 2,000 US dollars should the price increase 100%. And that would be around the all-time high. Now, talking about investment portfolios, in my opinion, it's always smart to have a small percentage of your complete portfolio into something that's a bit more risky, and hopefully this risk will pay out in like maybe 10 years. So 10 years is a long time, and it is possible that in 10 years that Vechain manages to garner a certain amount of the supply chain. Now, should it just get 1% of this supply chain cap, the 50 trillion cap, Should it just get 1%, then it would have a market cap of 500 billion US dollars, and 500 billion US dollars would be lower than the whole cryptocurrency market at all-time high price. So in my opinion, it will take a very, very massive bull run to propel Vechain to that price point, and that would be a price point of $9 US, and your meager investment of 5,000 US dollars would be around $1,228,500. So a very, very nice return on investment, and it's possible in the next 10 to 20 years that something like this happens. So I think if you've got a large portfolio, investment portfolio, and you invest maybe 1 or 2% of your whole investment portfolio into something risky, the return on investment can be very nice. Remember, please remember, this is just my opinion. I'm just thinking out loud how I might do these things. Of course, if we go into other territory of even more speculation of 5% and 10%, then we get to some very ridiculous numbers, and your $1,000 US portfolio could actually turn into 12 million and even more. Now, of course, if you're investing a bit more, then these numbers can also, of course, increase by incredible amounts. Now, of course, even though we're talking about speculation, I mean, Bitcoin at some point was also worth 1 or 2 cents. Of course, the total supply of Bitcoin is a lot less than Vechain, but it's still possible. I mean, maybe a small percentage is possible that this can happen, but yeah, this is more or less my opinion on how much Vechain could increase. Now, hopefully it happens, but you never know. Speculation is a fickle game. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. And however, long-term investment in the cryptocurrency space, if you invest into products and projects that have actual partnerships and are developing their services, you've got a better chance than if you just invest in some random ICOs. So hope you learned something interesting in this video and you liked my opinions. And yeah, don't lose all your money in the cryptocurrency space. Just be safe. So I'll catch you on the next one, and have a great day.